I feel like you would get knocked out. Like
this time it's personal. Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs too. This time it's personal.
Starring Remorseless.
Put 'em up. Put 'em up. Put 'em up.
remember that?
Put 'em up. Put 'em up. If I working on the
What made you get a vape cigarette thing?
It's
cool.
CBD oil.
CBD oil is awesome.
I don't know anything about any of that stuff, guys.
CBD oil is the. Oh, so you did go CBD.
Yeah.
So
what's it
CBD
stand
oil? It's cannabis oil.
So,
it's the cannabis plant without the THC.
So it's good for relaxation and pain relief, I believe.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We started recording early, so I'm going to hit my vape a few more times before we actually get into it.
You should try it for your arthritis, Arthur. Did anybody ever call you Arthur?
Hey, arthritis.
Arthritis.
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
No filter.
No filter.
No filter.
No filter.
Welcome to No Filter.
The No Filter.
To No Filter.
The No Filter Podcast, which is
An EMP Network production.
in this show you'll encounter nothing but
Straight talk. No PC.
No PC.
No PC consistency
Please note that the
Opinions from the host.
are not a reflection of the EMP network. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening,
thanks for opening up your ears and your minds.
and we hope you like this one. You know that meme where Arthur's like that is clenching his fist?
Yeah.
That's you.
Only mine would be like this.
This made me call arthritis. Yo, you took over a few episodes, man.
Arthritis?
Yeah,
I
you're
like
doing
that.
a good job. You got a story today?
Yeah, I do.
All right, we'll get into that later. Hey guys, welcome to No Filter. I am your host, Remorseless. I'm here with Double D
Hey, what's up?
and Arthritis.
Howdy. Howdy, guys.
And yeah, we're rocking. So I want to start this off the right way.
Lighting some candles.
We're definitely going to light some candles because, baby, it is cold outside.
Then I can't stay.
But baby, it's cold outside.
Oh, I've got to go
But
away.
baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been. You don't know the words? That's actually
Frankie.
the funny thing is that's me and my wife's Christmas song.
Love that song.
Like we sing. We know it word for word. We actually printed out the words to learn.
So you
them,
could learn it.
to sing it. Yeah.
Nice.
Remember back in the day when I used to sell lyrics to songs to people.
Wow.
I used to burn CDs in high school.
Oh, burning CDs was amazing.
And I used to sell them. And I would put the lyrics in like the little.
In the liner notes?
Look at you trying to be a CD cover ass dude. Look at
Millennials wouldn't know anything.
So
about
you would
that.
have to write down like the songs word for word. Like
No, you
first
get it from the
things
internet.
first, I Papa
just print
freaks
it out.
all
You just-
the honeys,
okay,
dummies, playboys, bunnies, those wanting monies.
Yeah. I mean, granted, the reason I started doing it is because I couldn't understand some of the rap lines and some of those guys.
You
Like,
know-
when guys rap, I feel sometimes you can't understand what it is that they're saying.
I've never had that issue.
I'm horrible with lyrics. Not just rap, but just any song.
See, and I've never had that issue. Like I can listen to a song once or twice, and I will memorize the whole thing. My daughter does the same thing. It's my daughter. She does the exact same thing. Like she can listen to a song once or twice. I was playing "Glorious" by Belly, first time she's ever heard it, and it's a good song. So I actually had to run it back. You know how the songs are so good, you run them back. I actually ran it back, and she's singing the whole thing, word for word.
Meanwhile, she looked at all the lyrics.
Yeah, on her phone, Googled it. No,
Now,
but and my wife is like, she does that same shit that you do, because it pisses her off. Like when I watch a movie, and then I'll watch it. Like if I watch a movie before her, and then we'll watch the movie, I'll say the lines.
Oh, see,
I'm one of those people.
I can do that, but there's just something with music with me. Like it gets mixed up. Like the lyrics and the
See,
music
it's
get mixed
easier
up.
It's
with
like
music for
distorted
me.
sometimes or
It's
something
weird.
like the way it rolls off some people's tongues.
Yeah.
Pause.
I remember when I was married and I gave I was going to give my wife at the time a song. It was Rod Stewart, Maggie May. Do you know that song?
No,
Okay. Well, it's I was like, "Oh yeah, this is my song to you." And she's like, "That's not a very good song to give to me because it was about a woman who sleeps around." that kicks the guy out in the morning. But it just sounded like a romantic song to me.
That's
She's
funny
like,
that
no.
there's a lot of songs like that that sound romantic, but you listen to the lyrics, you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
not
yeah,
at
no,
all.
no.
Yeah, definitely. But like I don't like. I think it's what it is. It may have been from like learning rhythms and dancing and just like playing instruments and different things like
Did you
that,
learn
so you
to
can
move
pick
your
up.
hips when you were growing up?
Man, let me tell you, you don't ask me questions you know the answer to.
Oh, is that a yes?
Don't ask me questions you know the answer to.
So you learned how to shake your ass when you were younger?
No, I just recently learned that. Remember what was that called? That was the real. Remember when Juvie Back That Ass Up came out?
I was
and
not gonna
every
dance
chick,
to it.
Every
No.
chick knocked that twerk dance out. Twerking was out way before, it was called twerking.
Yeah.
And when that beat dropped on that bump,
But why is that song still like
bump, and the chicks
the
be like,
ultimate club anthem?
Well, back that ass up.
Yes, it's crazy. It's some people weren't even born when it came out. Like the
work
same-
out with them make a play out with them
it's one time for the 9-9. Isn't that what he's-
Cash
I have
Money
no-
Records
no
taking
idea.
over for the 99
Taking
and the 2000s, and then Juvie comes in. Well, you're working with the PJ.
taking over for taking
Back
over
that
for-
ass up is the only thing I know.
Yeah, like the
Back that
words.
ass up. There's me waiting for the chorus.
Yeah.
Back that ass up.
Well, even if you think about it, like Juvenile, a lot of his songs you couldn't like distinctly understand what he was talking about because everything sounded muffled. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's the style in rap or whatever it may have been. But
I think you're just prejudiced towards accents.
nah, I wouldn't say that. I have a lot of friends that are from the South.
Name a rapper with clarity that you have that issue with. Exactly, folks. Anyway, where were we?
Look, I have a lot of friends that are from the South, and
Adam
sometimes when they
keeping that
talk,
awkward silence in.
and sometimes when they speak, I really like they don't enunciate their words, right? And so I can't understand half of the shit they say. They sound like dogs.
I'm going to test that.
peanut
I'm
butter
going
in
to
their
challenge
mouth.
that. I'm going to call somebody right now. I'm going to call somebody who's straight Atlanta.
No, you have to go further south than that. Do like Miami.
No, because the people I know from Miami are Hispanic. Like you're definitely not going to understand.
Yeah. It's
not
like
family.
Hispanic and people have flocked down there after retirement.
But no. I have a lot of
And
friends.
partiers.
I have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
that are in
there's
Miami.
not a lot of people with accents in fucking Miami.
Yeah, there is, dude.
there
Like I have a
isn't.
lot of friends from Florida, like from Miami around.
What's a Miami accent sound like?
Okay, this is like a black one. Hey, what up, though, boy? How y'all boy doing, dog?
Yeah,
we good, boy.
Yeah, we about to go. You want to go get some crab? Yeah, I was doing crab.
Yeah, boy.
It was right away.
One buddy was talking one time.
Hey, how y'all?
One buddy was talking in the locker room one time, and he's like, man, he's like, I could just hear them because like the way the locker room was split, like you had like seniors here, juniors, whatever, and he was I think like a sophomore at the time, and I'm over here, and he's like, man, what? You wash your son in the tub? I wash my motherfucking son in the bucket. Fuck that. I save water.
Hey, Melly Mel, you're on the podcast right now. Can you hear me?
Did he say
you-
shit?
That's what I heard.
Mel. Mel, you on the podcast? You on the podcast right now? You killing me. Why would you answer your phone in the middle of a conversation? Hey, you on the podcast right now. I just want to let you know so you don't say anything incriminating.
Like what?
I don't know, but my cousin said that he has I think he says he has a hard time listening to lyrics to songs, but he's only been naming Southern rappers, all right? Like, and I think he has a thing against accents. So I want you to talk to him like super Atlanta and see if he can understand you. Here,
I'm always talking super Atlanta.
go ahead, go.
What did he
What
say?
There he is, right there. His name's Art.
Hey, what up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just hanging in here.
What'd you say?
I don't understand the language. What's the language?
I'm joking.
I understand, y'all used to the Southern talking, y'all from up north and shit like that. You know what I mean?
We here with Double D too. You should see his face while you're talking.
I'm picking up most of it. Just a word or two. I'm like, huh?
Y'all don't understand what I said?
I don't think they understood you, man.
See? That's what I'm saying. You need to come down south then so you can get a hang of what we talking about. Don't know where the beautiful women at anyway.
I hear you. They single too. They need some beautiful women in their life.
Yeah, get one of them Georgia Peach up in you. You know what I'm saying?
He old school too. He like 96 years old. He old as hell.
Yeah. Hey, look around, dog. You know, I'm at work.
I heard that.
Making the money and all that.
Aye,
You
man.
interrupt me talking to this security. You interrupt me talking to this security guard. This
Yeah, you in the middle of a conversation and you want to say, hey, I ain't your phone. Why you ain't your phone?
Hey, man, what can I say, dog? You know, we do what we do when we do what we do.
All right, man. I'm going to hire you later.
All right, later.
Yeah, that was
So if you
Southern
concentrate real hard,
was
you
that
can
a-
follow
accent. You have
along.
to. I'm telling you. But like I have friends from Florida that talk kind of just like that, and you really have to concentrate.
That thick Miami accent.
No, Miami does have an original accent. It's just you don't find a lot of you don't find a lot of Miami people with that accent because a lot of them move from other places.
to
You know
Miami.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like Maryland has an accent.
Yeah, they do.
Maryland has an accent. Virginia has as a matter of fact, our aunt has that accent.
I know that like the Maryland D.C. accent. Like
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that one, but the Virginia side, they kind of speak normal to me.
Well, that's another place that people like move to from different states because Maryland, Virginia, Ohio, Pittsburgh, all of these places are so close. New Jersey, all of these places are pretty close.
Demographically, New Jersey is nowhere fucking close to Virginia.
But
Geographically, sorry.
but Maryland wise, this definitely.
Yeah, you gotta think Maryland wise, all right?
Maryland wise,
I'm talking.
What are you
this
doing?
one right on the other side. Like you
Think of New Jersey wise.
From
You gotta
Maryland,
think
Maryland and
wise.
Jersey are really close.
yeah, like Baltimore and okay, yeah. I was going to say more Delaware and Maryland.
It's right across the bridge,
Everything's legal in New Jersey.
almost. But anyway,
Are you saying I'm biased against Southern accents?
I know I'm
Really?
saying you're prejudiced against them.
How am I prejudiced? Like, so you saying I prejudge Southern accents?
You're like, oh man,
I
what
just
is
can't
this-
understand
What is
them.
this Kodak Black album? I don't get what he's saying. Let me throw this away.
Nah. I listen to some Southern artists. I just don't understand what the fuck they're talking about.
So you just listen for the music.
And
So what you're telling me
and
is
all
you're
the-
a 1 a.m. drunk chick.
maybe 2.
2 a.m.
Yeah. One of them.
When do you start crying? Exactly.
After listening to them,
Okay. Yeah.
are you asking?
Yeah.
Oh, immediately.
No, I'm just saying because you're a girl. You're one
Oh.
of them drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, so why do girls always cry when they're drunk, and then they're always throwing up? They need someone to hold their hair, and then they're losing friends. Like,
No,
they're
but
always
don't
like, "Where's
forget
Kelly?"
don't forget about fighting. Don't forget about fighting. Like don't forget about fighting. Yeah.
You see a lot of fights with drunk chicks. I don't.
I see a lot of fights with drunks on the south, especially on the south side. On the south side, there's a lot of fights on the south side.
I see more guys getting into there's that macho, and all the places are overcapacitated, so those guys are always bumped. I see that more than
I
anything.
never understood being offended that somebody bumped you
I don't get
when
it.
you're in a place that's overcapacitated.
I don't get it.
Make sure them titties overcapacitate my face. It's so crazy. That was the example in the Urban Dictionary.
Yo, your titties is bouncing up against me, man.
But like that is wild.
Yeah, I hate like when you. So I'm too respectful when I'm like in those crowded areas, right? Like I'm like, oh, I say excuse me like maybe 1,000 times a night.
Yeah,
right?
you say sorry 1,000 times on this podcast.
Yeah, so I'm like, but I hate being in those type of places and then walking to like trying to get to the restroom in the back. It's just.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Trying to go through like
And
a
then
sea of people.
And then you have to deal with everyone's personality. If I bump this guy, he's going to look at me wearing that.
Yeah.
If I bump this girl, it's like, come on. I don't even go to places like that anymore.
Stepping on people's white sneakers.
Yeah. Stupid.
Not cool.
I go to wine bars and ultra lounges now.
I like lounges. There aren't a lot anymore though, or not even anymore. But there aren't a lot. We need more lounges in Pittsburgh.
Definitely.
We definitely, because like just sitting down, especially if there's like lounges with live music.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna cut this out because we need to talk about you. Write up a business plan. We need to make this happen. But that would be sick though, because Howlin' at the Wolf was supposed to be that.
Howl at the Moon.
Howl at the Moon was supposed to be that.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't they have like a piano? Like they have like a pianist, right? Or
But
is
they
it
turned it
pian-
into a
what is it?
club. A pianist.
Pianist?
A pianist.
Pianist?
Pianist.
It's the pianist?
Pianist.
Is that what it is? A pianist?
Pianist.
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 Look at my pianist.
We're just going to stick
pianist.
this pianist thing throughout
Pianist.
the episode.
Pianist.
Pianist.
Say it again, double D.
Pianist. Tickling the ivories, you know.
Pianist.
The ivory.
Pianist.
Yeah.
Or ebony, whatever you're into.
Pianist. But so 15 minutes in, we're finally going to talk about something. Let's go. Can I
Let's
go
do it.
first with qualifications?
Go ahead.
Do it.
And the reason why I'm going first with qualifications is there's a lot of situations that I don't think that you should stand so strong on your opinion if you've never experienced it. You know what I'm saying? You're not qualified to have this opinion if you've never experienced what's going on. So how can you sit there and have an opinion about something that you've never experienced? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And this is wrapping exact. This is gonna go correlate exactly to our main topic. But I don't think that that's fair to only have one perspective about any and everything. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not going to listen, learn, and or bend. Right?
Over.
That was my fault. And that kind of moves towards SJWs, because it's just a lot of people that didn't experience shit just trying to throw their opinion out there and trying to be heard and making sure that they get a lot of people that rally around them and, you know, just, you join me with this or you are the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it also goes with a lot of other, it goes with everybody. Like, it can apply to everybody. Why is it every time I record, my nose is clogged up? Like,
I don't know.
I'm clear the whole day, and then we record, and my fucking nose gets stuffed.
Drink some more water, man.
Who's stuffing your nose?
I don't know. Pause.
Oh, you didn't get your shipment of water yet. Sorry, that's probably why.
Your boxed water. What did I say?
Y'all are
Shit
haters,
water.
man. Y'all are some
Your
haters.
recycled water. He gets recycled water.
How's your furnace doing at home?
It's good.
Oh, okay.
It was fixed.
I'm about
Yeah.
to put another fucking monkey wrench in it.
That was fixed, and my fridge is fixed.
Your fridge is fixed.
My fridge is fixed.
Pianist. But so that's kind of where we're going though. We're having more people experiencing a lot less, talking about a lot more.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Exactly, because you don't need fucking whoa. You don't need roads. You don't need roads at all because you're not going anywhere. Instead, you're finding articles that make sure that you're right on a subject. You're looking at one side of a conversation.
Support your bias.
You're formulating a bias and you're spreading this bias around, trying to rally the troops.
Yeah,
And you
it's,
do it by any way, shape, or form.
It's backwards,
then you
right? You
cast
form
judgment.
your opinion first, and then look for things to support your opinion.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's where society's going more and more. And that's the problem with these SJWs. And just for explanation purposes, SJW is social justice warriors, guys. I'm sure you knew that. You're all a bunch of intelligent people. Pianist. But anyway. So like qualifications are very important because if it's just like a job. You know what I'm saying? Life is just like a job. Life is a job, as a matter of fact. And there are experiences that there are things that you have to experience in order to be able to survive through certain things. Like you can't put a kid from the suburbs into the hood and expect him to just thrive through it. You can't survive. And you can't take a conditioned kid from the hood and put him into the suburbs and expect him to be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't take somebody that didn't have any money, like Rocco, for example, give him $3 million and expect him not to blow through it.
I'm going to buy a whole bunch of coke and strippers, man.
Exactly. And you can't take a rich person and expect him to survive being poor. You can't do these things. Like, they're not qualified to be able to handle these conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so when you say qualifications, it's like a stack of life experiences.
Yeah,
you're talking.
Yeah. And I think it's a stack of life experience towards the opinions that you're formulating. It's not necessarily here's a laundry list. Like, you know how you have your 100, maybe you guys didn't do this, but you know how you have your 100 books that you think everybody should read.
Oh yeah.
And you read all 100 of them before you recommend them. You can't recommend them until you read the 100 of them. Mm-hmm. Right? It's not that. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're situational, subjective.
Yeah. So if I think of somebody from a small town that grew up there and they never, or any town, whatever, you could take it could be the inner city, it could be a suburb, wherever. But if you grow up there and then you never leave, you're going to be secluded and you're going to have small ideas because you've never experienced other cultures or other societies. That's why I think that anybody who doesn't go out and have these experiences, like you're saying, you're more limited. Sometimes you don't even know how much you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And what's the famous saying? A man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that a rap line?
No, that's from Erykah Badu's On and On, but that is definitely an older proverb than that.
Okay.
Expand art. That's exactly what we're talking about.
My goodness.
Pianist.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so the those kind of people tend to be more closed-minded, and you can associate that with being bigoted, right? Mm-hmm. Closed-mindedness equals bigotedness.
But see, another thing with bigotry is it has such a negative connotation. It's connotation that like it has a negative connotation. So like it's made to be. It doesn't just mean misinformed anymore. It doesn't just mean ignorant, because ignorant's not a bad thing. Ignorant means that there's something that you're lacking in intellectually, and you need to learn it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be malicious.
The choice of being ignorant is what.
The choice of being ignorant is a bad thing,
right?
But ignorance isn't a bad thing.
It's bliss.
Only for the ignorant. For the rest of us, it's fucking annoying as hell.
It depends, because if that person's willing to learn, then it's not annoying. Like just being willing to learn. But if you're ignorant and you're like, okay, like, and you're being explained something and you choose not to listen and or take it into consideration, then that's when it's a negative ignorance, because now you're being ignorant.
That's on a sliding scale, though, right? So if we look at SJWs, and they're saying things like you were just saying, you need to just open up your mind to the fact that there's 100+ genders, right? So to them, you're being willfully ignorant.
Yeah.
So just to play devil's advocate and see both sides.
Yeah, well, let's go to the genders thing. Okay, well, prove to me that there are these genders. You proved it to me. All right, cool. Well, there are these genders now.
Right. Yeah, I agree with
And
you.
that's-
That's if you should be able to absolutely back up your claims.
Exactly. If you're not willing to prove like what you're saying, then shut the fuck up.
Now, is proof only value through something that's visibly seen with the eye?
What do you mean?
So, you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Go ahead.
So, essentially, like,
How he look to you for a cosign and he didn't even start what he was saying.
because he was about to say something. He was about to say something.
All right, you're a piece of shit.
No,
Stop
okay.
trying to rally the troops. Just
No.
fucking go.
All right, so essentially, what I'm asking is,
Pianist.
for you to believe something and take heed to it and take it into consideration, is it something that needs to visibly be seen with the eye?
I mean, visualization is the best form of proof. However, you'd have to give me an example. I don't understand what you're saying.
It's hard whenever sometimes you can't even agree on what evidence would be.
Right.
So if you take this into climate change, right? So the scientists say that here is physical proof, like you were saying, there is actual physical proof, but people still deny that. So even I think evidence can be on a sliding scale of what you accept.
Right.
But here's the thing: if there is physical proof about climate change, which in its reliable proof, then the person that's ignoring it, he's being willfully ignorant. You have to pay attention to that truth. I'm not saying you have to go by it, but you would have to find a counter for it.
Well, I think that the concern is that it's not truth.
What do you mean?
We don't know if it's truth. That's, I think, what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, if people were like rallying behind this Bigfoot thing, right, and then I seen fucking Bigfoot, then okay, I understand that. That's truth. I can visibly see that. But with
Yeah.
climate change, we don't know if it's really climate change, right?
Oh no, that's not what I was getting at.
Oh, what were you talking about?
How do we not know it's climate change?
I'm saying that if a person looks at the proof from scientists that say that climate change is real and they choose to ignore that, that they're choosing which they don't believe that those findings are accurate, that they're true.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they may not believe in like the data. Or
Like
so.
Okay,
they say
well-
there's a conspiracy, maybe.
Okay, well, find the opposite.
Or
Find-
that I'm lying.
If you're saying that, if you show me climate change and I'm like, all right, well, no, that's not right. I should be able to explain to you or show you why it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Me just denying it and saying that
being
you're
willfully
lying
ignorant. I get
is
it.
being
Yeah.
willfully ignorant.
get
That's bigotry.
Without proof to back up your claim, you mean,
Exactly.
is willful ignorance.
Exactly.
How do you
because
prove?
all you're doing is denying it.
How do you prove like a conspiracy like that? Like for the people who say it's just a conspiracy.
Well, we're using
That's hard to
climate
prove.
change. I know nothing about it, but so what exactly
Conduct
a
your
conspiracy?
own- conduct your own study, maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
But a conspiracy is something that doesn't conclude, right? It's just a bunch of theories that's thrown around. You guys were talking about conspiracy before. Help me out with this fucking thing. What is a
Oh
conspiracy?
shit! I forgot who I was talking to. Sorry, man. I would have brought up conspiracy theories. Yeah, I was just using it as kind of maybe a gotcha on the side, playing devil's advocate of
Oh,
don't
okay.
have proof. Well, I can't prove a conspiracy, so game set match.
Well, that's the thing. You can't prove a conspiracy, but then again, you can't disprove it either, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's a conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a moot point.
Yeah.
It would have to be something more solid. And the reason why we're talking about this, I know it sounds like just some random shit, just like every other episode, but our conversation is going to be today. It's going to be narrowed on the SJWs and how they're fucking everything up. So yeah, I'm going to let Double D give a quick summary about what's going on. We have
7-year-old death
Yeah, that's
In customs.
in customs. Yeah, that's mine.
all right. Well, you can go ahead and do that, and we can save this subject to the.
Okay, so just for a current event, I actually read this on NPR, but I heard about it on CNN a few days ago. That the death of a 7-year-old migrant, they're saying is what if you look at what the U.S. kind of rests its laurels on, or so, it has a lot to say about the U.S. What ended up happening was there was a migrant family that was coming in from Guatemala, and they were detained at customs. And within that time, they had been traveling so long that this little 7-year-old girl that was with this group and with her father in this group, they hadn't eaten or drinking anything for days. And so when they got into customs, she ended up, I don't know if she went to a seizure or whatever it may have been, but I know that her temperature, they said, was over 105 degrees. And so she was found hours later non-responsive, and she ended up dying, basically. But it was all because they were trying to rush her to a hospital, but they didn't make it like the first priority. You know, they were more into, we have to detain these individuals at the border. They're invading our country, right?
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line at, you know, as to when we see things like this happen and we actually take some of this stuff serious as far as like what could have medically been done for this little girl, you know?
What can we as citizens hearing about this on the news, or like
no, just
Americans seeing it with the foreigners?
Border Patrol.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, even if you think of war, like there's certain
Casualties.
rules that you have to abide by. In
rules
war.
of engagement.
Rules of engagement for war, and one of them being you can't shoot somebody like in the medical profession.
Right.
So if there's wounded that they're going to collect, you cannot shoot at the person. And I think they have to be identified by like a Red Cross or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like it would be crimes against humanity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't see why that should not apply here, even, you know, at the border, even if there's somebody right across the line, if there's somebody in need of medical help, I think that should be universal human.
Let me put this disclaimer out there, though. That when they initially signed the form,
Get closer to the mic, Art.
when they initially, excuse me, when they initially made them, I guess, sign forms, the dad said that she didn't have any type of illness, or, you know, she didn't need medical treatment.
Mm-hmm.
When they noticed it, they still kind of neglected it for a while before she ended up making her way to the hospital, which was like 4 hours away, and she ended up passing or so. But
let me interject real quick. The application of what I'm about to say, I'm not sure how strong it is, but this is an issue that I was on Instagram, and it was specifically on Alyssa Milano's page, and it was talking about,
is that the fine chick? Like,
from Charmed? Yeah.
Yeah, she's so bad. Sorry.
I don't know how you'll feel after this, but it had a picture of a family. It had a picture of a mother and 3 children, and they were at the border, and it was like, what kind of a parent, or what good is a parent, and what kind of a parent will put your kids through a situation like this?
Someone who's trying to make a better living for their children.
And there are just some things, and that's definitely a closed-minded point of view. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Qualifications.
Exactly. So she's definitely underqualified for that. But people don't like hearing that they're wrong in situations like that. It's like how we were talking about the episode with Columbus Day, how I was like, yeah, I'm American. I have to appreciate the fact that, like, what happened, but I can still say it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But with this, the line should have been drawn when there was a life at stake, mm-hmm. especially when it wasn't a life with any intent on harming.
Right. Now, let me ask. I think with all this Border Patrol issue, or this Border Patrol talk going on, I think a lot of this was... I think we're paying attention to it a lot more because of the president. Do you think that this story makes it out because I understand we had the Border Patrol issue it's been for some time now, and that's why he shed so much light on it. But with his him trying to enact this whatever to have a wall built and XYZ, do you think that this story makes headline news if he doesn't allude to all this Border Patrol talk?
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, it's funny. You're definitely right about that. Like the immigration, because immigrants always came in.
They've always come in.
They've
illegally.
always came
There's
in.
been an issue.
But
We've been detecting it.
And you can look up the stats. It has risen slightly, but it has risen every year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I can't even pretend to pontificate how long, like, or how much more it is and how much more it will be and different things like that. I don't really speak in hypotheses. But the thing is, if he wouldn't have shined such a bright light on immigration and on how much you hate immigrants and different things like that, I don't think it wouldn't have been this popular. Because, like I said, it was like that before. There's a lot of shit that people are willing to cover up for, like, that position. A perfect example is Barack with the Geyser Strip, like how that was getting bombed and nothing was said.
The Gaza.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with Gaza. Yeah.
So, like, but the problem is you brought it to light. So it's basically a hell of your own making.
Hey guys, Double D here, and let's face it, you're a loser. Yeah, yes you. You don't have any friends. And here's why this is a problem. Because after you've downloaded this episode and listened to it, you're going to love it so much, you're going to want to go out and download all the other episodes of No Filter from the EMP network. And then after you've listened to those, you're going to love this show so much, you're going to want to run out and tell all your friends about it. But guess what? You don't have any friends. So go out into the real world and make some friends. That way you can tell them all about it. And you can also tell them about our socials where you can hit us up. Hit us up at Twitter at network_EMP. Also on Instagram, EMP Network 412. And also on Facebook, you can like us, EMP Network, and share it with all your friends on there. You know, they say that they're your friends, but they're not your friends. So go out into the real world and make some friends, you weirdo.
But it also,
Yeah, because now it's like you brought it to light. Immigration's being focused on so much. This little girl passes. There's a lot of people saying things about the U.S. Now what are you going to do? And the way that this situation was handled. Now what happens?
I think that, and I have heard Trump, it must have been for something else, not this, but because this was maybe a week or two ago, I heard Trump saying kind of what you said that Instagram post said. It was like, what kind of mother would bring this or bring their children to a border patrol or to a border where things like this is happening. So I heard Trump say that. So, I mean, this guy's Teflon, I think.
Yeah.
No matter what. I mean, this guy, doesn't matter what he says, what he does. Everything is just run off his back so far.
He has such a crazy strong support. Like, I can only think of one person who has a stronger support, and that would be Beyonce.
Yeah, Beehive.
Yeah.
That Beehive is real.
You
not
say
wrong.
anything
Guys,
about
we're
that
not talking
Beehive.
about Beyonce. We all love Beyonce.
You say
Don't
anything
come after us.
wrong about that Beehive, they will
Jeez.
attack you.
It's literally a beehive. Like,
Nicki Minaj's group is the same way. There's Barbie dolls or
The
something.
Barbies, the Barbs.
If you say anything negative about that group, about her,
but see, and these are but like he blinded. I can't even say he has blinded a bunch of people. It's just he has ignited a fire in a whole bunch of people that really didn't have the motivation to speak out.
also, if you look at the light that he has shined on immigration, I think that could be a clause as to why immigration.
Isn't it shown, not shined? Isn't it shown? The light that he's shown?
I don't know.
shown?
Shined?
Shown.
Yeah, like it. I don't. Is it shown?
It's shown.
It's shown. All right. Because I say it shined too.
Yeah, shined. The light he has shined.
Shown.
No, it might be
it's
shined.
the light he has shown.
I think it's shined.
Show me the way.
Shown is like I'm showing you something. I think
That's showing, you moron.
No, shown.
Shown. SHOWN.
Yes.
Shown.
Yes, like show with an N.
It's
You
the-
have shown me.
Yes. What the
you
fuck
have
are you
shown
talking
me.
about?
Yeah. So
Shown.
okay, you have shown me. So
The bright was so light it shone down on the stage.
The bright was so light.
The light was so bright it shone on the stage.
But
so it is shined then.
I think it's
I don't
shined.
know.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that
The shit we talk about in the middle of a conversation.
I think with all this publicity that it's getting, damn, I forgot what I was about to say. You know what? Just move on, asshole.
Yeah, I don't. You're right, Double D. He is untouchable right now.
Oh yeah, so to bring it back,
Past tense, shined.
The
The Shining. Have you ever seen that?
I'm reading a book right now, as a matter of fact.
That's a great book, stupid movie.
Yeah, I agree. But like you were saying, like, what if this makes it to the news, or since it's, how is he going to react?
How's it going to be
Because
handled?
this is, how's it going to be handled?
Deflection.
Like I said, I don't think it'll hurt him. Nothing has yet.
It's deflection. He's a force field. Like, what happens is you'll be like, well, what do you have to say about this 7-year-old dying? What does his parents have to say? His parents shouldn't have brought him there. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty much
completely
it.
deflect.
And then
that'll
he
be the
changes
public
it.
statement
That's
that
all he does
gives?
is deflect it.
Wow.
And then he'll change the subject to, if we just had more money for the military, and then if military
But
and NATO.
excuse me, Mr. President, I have
NATO.
Mr. President,
Yeah, we
Mr.
talked
President,
about that before.
Mr. President, I
What?
have a question for you.
What?
So how do you
Make
feel?
it fast.
I'm trying to talk. If you don't mind me,
You're a very rude person.
I'm trying to say something to you, though. I don't know.
All right, go.
All right. So, shit, you made me forget what I was gonna say. How do you feel about immigration?
Immigration, I think it's great. Wrong. Just kidding. It's horrible.
It's horrible. How so?
I don't like people coming near me.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains that explains a lot. Anyway,
But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to bring that up because, I mean, what if it continues to happen, things like this? You know, there could be a lot of things that are mishandled at the border.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a great sense of humility. I just think that if people are trying to get here illegally, right, and they're trying to make a better way, like they're trying to make a better way for their family, they want to come to a land where there's more opportunity. It's, there's a better foundation. Life is just a lot better here. Fuck all the paperwork. That can be done later, right? If there are people who are in need, I think we should take aid to these people. That's how I just, but we live in a country to where
speaking to the mic, all right.
we live in a country to where it's very corrupt. The views and the opinions of a lot of people are really, skewed. And things like this, I think, are going to continue to happen. And, it just sucks, for people. It really does. But I would hate to go to another country and I get this same treatment, Like, I go to Canada all the time, And I would hate for even people to take situations like this and look at Americans and say, fuck them, we're going to treat them how they treat us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. It's an unfortunate situation.
And it's funny that you
Definitely.
say that because I was talking to my friend. She lives in Lima, and I was talking about coming down to visit her. And
Is that Peru?
yes,
Okay.
and she was explaining. And I was like, yeah, me and my wife. Instead of going, we were planning on going somewhere for her 30th, doing it big for her birthday. And she was like, your wife shouldn't come down. And I'm like, and it's that serious. Like they
Because
are,
of the color of her skin.
because she's a white American.
Oh.
Like they are treating, it's pretty bad now. It's the anger that everybody has just in different countries. And I talk to a lot of people from different countries, and the anger that everybody has, especially south of the border, it's insane. It's really bad now.
That's why I thought it was kind of funny how those like backpackers a few years ago went over to Afghanistan
And got
on
hit.
a fucking trip, and they got they were held hostage, and basically they were like crying out to the American government like, save us, and the American government's like, no, fuck you,
Oh, Jesus.
save yourselves. Because they were just like extremists, right? They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we love Sean White, fucking ESPN, some crazy shit. And they went over there and they were told, I think by Iraqis, we see that land over there, don't walk
Don't go
over
over
there,
there, yeah.
because they will detain you. And what did they do? Fuck that, we're extreme sports, snowboarding. And they went over there.
Extreme sports, snowboarding.
They went over there, they got detained, and they held them for ransom. And I think it was millions of dollars. But I think eventually they ended up coming back, and the U.S. government had to put out money. But at first they were like, no.
Oh, damn.
Fuck you. You shouldn't have been a fucking
See, I wouldn't go even to Iraq where they would tell me, don't go over there.
Who goes to Iraq on a fucking vacation?
The only time that you should go to Iraq is if you're in the military. That's the only time you should go to Iraq. People from Iraq don't even want to go to Iraq. Like,
I think Israel would be cool because of all the historical sites, but I still wouldn't even feel safe there.
So I had someone ask me recently.
I was about to say, because you're so...
Because I look Jewish?
You don't look Jewish, though.
I had someone ask me recently.
Hold on for a minute. I was about to say, you're not a religious guy, right, Double D?
No.
So what would you get from is because Israel, like Bethlehem and places like they are in Jerusalem, they are such a strong power for religious beliefs. A friend of mine, she just came from there, and like it is you ever notice that a bunch of my friend of mine, I always say she, but
what's your wife think of that?
Yeah, we'll have that conversation next episode. But like a long, like there's such a strong like pulling, or what's the word I'm looking for? Strong
attraction.
energy and or attraction for
Pulling.
Religion, or not even religion, but God. Because there's a
It's
difference
the Holy
between
Land.
religion. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
So like
It's the birthplace of Christianity.
so
Islam,
what
and
can you
Judaism.
get from there when you're like, what kind of peace of mind do you think that you would be able to grasp from
Like,
Israel?
why would you want to go to
Me
Israel?
personally,
Yeah.
for the history of it, I still read the Bible and everything, even though I'm not like a churchgoer and I'm not heavily spiritual and
Yeah, so
religious.
do I.
There's many things that you can learn from the Bible, and it just to see things that are mentioned in the Bible and from civilization thousands of years old and still survives to this day is just fascinating to me.
Yeah, so it's weird because I actually had a conversation with a friend. She asked me,
I noticed that.
she asked me, if there was one place that you would love to go, where would it be? I asked her, and I think it was like somewhere in South America. I said, no, I would like to go to the actual crucifixion site. If I had one place in the world to go, in that, because I'm not a huge, I feel that people like in this day and age are just super overzealous when they take vacations. Oh, I was here in it. Okay, so fucking what? You were there. We get it. But I would love to go back to the Holy Land, and because I did a lot of research around this, and I realized that from downtown Jerusalem to the actual site, the Garden of Gethsemane or something.
Yeah.
It's only I think it's like a 9-minute drive.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then, because I did a lot of research around like the action, and then how long it took for him to actually walk from that garden to the actual crucifixion site with the cross and all, which was like somewhere I think around like 3 hours or something. I mean, you have I forget how what they said with the cross, how heavy it was or whatever, but and I know you had help with it, but just researching into that's somewhere I would want to go and walk those and trace those same steps.
Yeah.
That's something exciting to me. So I just thought
Yeah,
that was
it's pretty
interesting. You said
interesting.
that,
But what do you think you would gain from that?
I would probably gain a different perspective on religion, because I think here in the United States, yes, we go to church, people go to mass, we have like church dinners and stuff like that. But I don't think we pray as much as they do. I don't think that there's a bunch of things that I feel that they do that I would be able to learn and to understand differently.
Let me see. And so in summation, you're saying that we have brick and mortar churches here, but their streets was a church.
Everything the way that they live, like religiously.
Yeah, so like Jerusalem, Israel,
different.
Bethlehem,
Yes.
they were churches. Those places were churches.
Vastly different. And I've always wanted to get even if you just look at where we get baptized at, right? Like I was baptized in the basement of my church in a baptismal pool. they're like baptized.
That was
like,
definitely just a whirlpool. It was a whirlpool. Let's be honest.
But like
It had soul in
even
it.
just being over there, like, and you just seeing and understanding from a biblical perspective how they were baptized in these oceans and all, right? Like that's something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to be baptized like in like
the
like
Sea
the
of
Nile,
Galilee.
like the Nile River, or things of that sort, right? So I just think it's a lot different, and it's something that would give me a different perspective on religion and living life. I think here in America, I have an understanding for things, but I don't think that we're held as to highest standard as they are when it comes to religion,
Right.
I think
agree.
it's a routine for us, and then I believe and I'm spiritual, and
Yeah, but it's like a lifestyle
it's
for
a
them.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's something I would really love if I had to travel one place. That's something I would love to see. So
Pianist.
pianist.
All right, let's let them have it. Double D. I have a post on here on Facebook. I actually had to repost it. It was amazing to me. So you guys are aware that Baby It's Cold Outside is being taken down, and they're go after Rudolph and Frosty, and I forgot the other one. I always forget it. It's the one where it's the one where the toys go to an island because they didn't want them anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's with the elf.
Yeah.
And, that's Rudolph.
No, but it's not Rudolph. It's another one. But so the reason why they're trying to do that is because
Oh, what the fuck, dude?
because like there are just different, like, people are just going after them because of insensitivity and different things like
Wait,
that. Like, so Baby It's Cold Outside is being taken down because it's supposed to promote what is it?
Date rape.
Date rape.
People
Rudolph
People are crazy.
bullying.
Bullying.
Well, Frosty. What was the basis of Frosty?
He got a magic hat that brings him to life, and there's some.
I forget,
kids.
but
I don't know. It's been so long.
It's
since I've
fucking
seen it.
stupid. But in another one, it's the one that I was talking about with the elves and shit. That where they drop all of the toys off at the land. It's they're promoting child abandonment, and the kids were the toys.
So, like, if you don't like your kid, just drop him off somewhere.
So
I wonder
this
how
is
perfect of a life did these people who criticize these things live.
they're not. They
I
don't-
really want to know how perfect their life is, and if because the way that they're speaking with casting all this judgment and trying to categorize everything, it seems like they're the holy people.
Wait a minute. All right, so this is hilarious to me. It says, I stole this, too funny, with two laughing emojis. You want to read it, Double D?
This thing here.
Yeah.
In the light of the banning of Baby It's Cold Outside, of the hashtag #MeToo movement,
You got to have a better voice than that. Come on.
please boycott the Christmas song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, because it exploits endangered hippos. Is this serious?
What the fuck?
While we're at it, same goes for Santa Claus is Coming to Town, equals fake news. Little Drummer Boy, gender neutral. White Christmas, definitely racist and xenophobic. Oh, come all ye faithful, equals exclusive. Oh, yeah. You got to be privileged for that. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen is anti-feminist. All I Want for Christmas Is You is stalking. Blue Christmas implies a male boy righteousness. I don't know about that one. I don't get that. 12 Days of Christmas is anti-Semitic because I guess Jews have 8 days.
Yes.
Okay.
That's so much bullshit right there.
Santa Baby equals the reverse hashtag #MeToo and exploits handouts. True that. Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem, pro-Jew and xenophobic.
I'm going to be both.
Getting into dicey territory here.
Is there anything surrounding Kwanzaa? I would love to know.
Nothing.
Exactly.
How about that?
Let them go ahead and spew that out.
Shout out to Kwanzaa.
Oh, here, I'll skip to the last one here because this one stands out to me. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus promotes adultery. I gotta tell you guys, when I was a kid and I heard that song and I had no clue what it was about, and I was like, that bitch. Because I seriously
dare
did not
she?
understand. I'm like, what are you doing this in front of your kid for?
No, what the fuck? All over some. I mean, and you're giving away your cookies. Right?
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Did it all for the
And
nookie.
milk. You're giving away your cookies and milk, lady. You need to relax.
Now, this shit is ridiculous. Like, I don't.
We can do that with everything in life. We can categorize. We can categorize. We can categorize. We can go ahead and put stipulations on how this is anti-Semitic, this is that, but don't just do it in a sense as to what you want to do it for. Do it with everything.
Right. And the problem with that is the more categories you create, the more people are outside those categories. Because by definition, you're dividing people.
Dividing people.
And that's kind of one of the problems with the LGBTQIA ... The more acronym or initials you add to that acronym, the more you're excluding, right? 'Cause
Exactly.
you're creating more categories. And in what the ultra left is, what they want to do is bring everybody together to make them equal, but yet they're dividing people.
Dividing, yeah.
But see, the fucked up thing is the easiest way to bring people together is to just bring them together. You don't have to have different categories or different things like that. We are all different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest in order to come together, acknowledgement of our differences and just moving on from that, that's the only way you can do it. It's not, oh yeah, well, you're Jewish and you're such and such and I'm such and such, so we're going to stay away from each other. Right? Mm-hmm. Or, well, you can't say what is give me an inflammatory word. Give me what is it? What's the word that we were using last week?
Why you always come to me for the offensive words? You just want me to be the one that says it.
You got them in the stash.
Kit Kat.
All right. So let's say you're not allowed to use Kit Kat because it promotes threesomes in the marriage.
What's
like
crazy
it has
that
adultery.
What's crazy is
Right.
it's not even like funny really, because it's something that someone would take, like, outlandishly take that and form some sort of fucking bias behind the word Kit Kat.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. And now you can't use Kit Kat because you're going to offend Double D. All right? But Double D can use Kit Kat because, I mean, he's a Kit Kat.
That's what we do.
That's what they do.
Now, but Double
All day,
D
every day.
can't use Highlander because it'll offend you.
I
Right?
was born in the Highlands of Scotland.
Neither of you can use Lampshade because it will offend me. And it'll just keep going and
Right.
keep going and
So,
keep going.
There's no.
And if we can't speak to each other, then we just stay to our own
divided.
separate groups. It's
Exactly.
divided. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And that's the ridiculous part about it.
Have I told you about this? So in the last months or last couple weeks, months, whatever, I've been hating more and more the idea of races.
Like racist,
Races.
races,
Races.
Races.
Well, racist.
like
Let's put
horse,
that out
like
there.
horse races,
No, the
dog races,
race. Because we talk about race a lot
Black,
here on this
white.
podcast.
Race.
Olympic races.
Yep. Jesse Owens. So,
Nicely done.
thank you. So, yeah, I don't like races. I don't like that we still categorize each other by races. What I think would be more beneficial is ethnicity. So instead of, like, this sprung from our conversation about whites and how you can't differentiate, you were saying? That's so completely asinine because, like a German is nowhere near culturally the same as an Italian person.
And that's just, I think, just the culture we grew up in, right? Like, where race was always
In the
Put to the
forefront,
forefront.
talked about.
right,
Yeah.
and that's why you have so many people who view it that way, right?
Yeah.
And that's why when we had that podcast, I remember it's so fucked up. Like you said, it's not, oh, he's German. It's, oh, he's white.
Right.
I
right.
can't tell the difference.
Yeah. So, and I get the. I wish that way it was, like, if I could create a perfect system, that would be it. I understand the difficulty. We've talked about your heritage, you guys, and you don't know, so that wouldn't be necessarily beneficial. But I'm just saying, if I could create a perfect, ideal image,
We
that
would all
it.
be able to go by heritage and go by ethnicity instead of
Race.
black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that I tell you guys I go to Toronto a lot, but Toronto's the most diverse city in the world. And when you're up there, they're like, "Oh, you're African American," and at first I was like, "The fuck does that mean?" But then they'll say, "Oh, well, he's Irish. He's like they take heed to ethnicity. It's not about you're just black because they have so many blacks walking around up there." That they can identify who's who. He's African.
Okay.
He's this, and that.
Yeah.
With us, I'm just like, oh, that's a brother right there. And it's so ignorant. It's so ignorant because that's just the way our culture is. That's the way we were raised. You know.
I mean, everybody's
Race
not
was
going to
so
do
big.
everybody's not going to do a 23andMe either, though. So like you
Pause. Did you
Okay,
say
I see
23
it. I
in
see
you?
it. I see the pause.
I'm sorry.
I see the pause. Pause.
Like
Thank you.
23 guys inside him.
Or 23
Everybody's
inches?
not going to do a 23 in
He
me.
made like 23 inches inside of him.
No, but
Slim Jims.
everybody's not going to be able to do that. Slim Jims. Everybody's not going to be able to do that either. So, like America, like it's not going to be easy to differentiate ethnicities because we didn't have that head start like Toronto did,
Right.
Or like Europe did, or like
Everywhere else in the
fucking
world.
everywhere else except for
Like we're the
America.
only one that I think we're the only ones that don't use metric units for fucking like miles per hour. Everyone else uses kilometers. We're the
Kilometer,
only
yeah.
one that use.
Why don't you switch your fucking? Why don't you just switch it in your car?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm just saying. I mean, no, I'm not going to switch in my car because I wasn't taught that growing up. So if I'm driving fucking 60 kilometers and I'm going 60 kilometers in a fucking,
You see how I just walked him right down that street? Exactly.
it's
So you
45
weren't-
miles an
so you
hour,
weren't
but I'm
taught
in a
that.
25. Yeah, I
So
get
you
it.
weren't taught
Right,
that.
yeah.
So you can't use something that you don't know.
I get that. I understand that. I'm just saying, like today when I think about it, I think it would be a lot more beneficial. And it would
Absolutely.
have killed racism and all this
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
And
I agree.
It would have definitely dialed it down a notch.
But okay, so what can you say about someone who's just black? If you understand that black is not just black, it's African, it's I don't know, it's Nigerian, it's Trinidadian, it's what can you just say? Oh well, all those black people. No, because they're not the same.
I don't know
Right,
about that.
right.
And the reason why is because, like I said before, sometimes if they don't like the Africans at soccer games, they throw bananas on the field.
We're at here in America.
No, in Europe. They no shit throw bananas on the field. So racism happens everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just amplified here.
Here, yeah.
It's just amplified here mainly because we don't have an origin to fall back on. Like, so I mean,
Right.
it
so
would definitely dial it down, but I don't think
There would
you'll
still
get
be
rid of
racism, but I don't see it being anywhere remotely close to what it is.
Yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Nowhere close.
Absolutely.
And if people would understand that like just because your skin color is similar to someone from Jamaica,
Right.
the two of you have nothing in common.
Like I find it hilarious that Jesus is always it's always he's always portrayed as a white man with
Jesus is the way, my
blonde
brother.
with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah,
But if
that's
he
crazy.
if he was born in Nazareth in the Middle East, where do you fucking find that at?
Yeah, I mean, he was a Jew, so
But it's like the way that those people look, they're not blonde with blue eyes.
Oh, are you saying where did that image of Christ
yeah,
come
like
from?
where does that come
Well,
from?
probably whenever Christianity was spreading from the Holy Roman Empire, and they were taking over lands, and so those were white people in Italy. I don't know about the blonde hair and blue eyes, but they took it, and once they got the great idea to convert the entire rest of the world to Christianity, they were pushing their agenda.
They were pushing
And
their
it was-
agenda, but it
it-
didn't make sense because of what they were
It
saying.
doesn't make sense
in the
now.
word.
It doesn't make sense now, but back then it did because of
It
Santan.
never made sense.
Back then it made sense to them, and it obviously worked because
it.
a Santan is not as appealing than somebody that looks like you.
A sand tan, I guess that's what you're saying,
A
right?
sand tan, yes.
Okay.
Is that referring to the color of your skin?
Yeah.
The tan, like the Middle Eastern tan.
Okay.
That tan or so, right? That's what you're.
Yeah, that's what somebody.
Yeah, like
called
I've
it.
always just wondered that. I'm like, okay, so he's a white man with blonde hair, blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
However, he came from fucking Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was probably just marketing on their part.
Yeah.
Like, so when they're trying to spread it to France, well, not that France existed back then, but the people over there, and be like,
To get them
hey,
to
do you
buy
care
in.
about this Jew over in the Middle East? And we're like, oh, okay. Hey, do you care about this white dude that looks like your neighbor?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Tell me more
Yeah,
about it.
to get them to buy in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I want to do some research around that to see if I can find anything. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
It just makes sense. It's propaganda.
Yeah.
The same way any other leader and or dictator got other people aboard. Castro, Hitler, like they used what they wanted, or they used the most appealing thing in order to appeal to the crowd, in order to flip them, so that way they would do something for them.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's propaganda.
Sucks.
What do you guys think about Black Santa? Speaking of
The movie,
race switching,
I'm not. I was
the
never.
TV show.
what is that? A TV show?
Is it a TV show or a movie?
No, you're just talking about the image.
The idea of black?
You know what I
Imagery?
don't like about black? I don't like specifically. I don't like when people say, yeah, I know. Specifically, I don't like when people say such and such acts black or doesn't act black.
I love it.
I don't.
I love it.
And the reason why is because think about the things that you act black for.
I don't take it into a literal sense. When I do it, it's to joke, right? So if I
See,
like this, like
but that's-
because Double D needs to. Well, this I'm
go
going
ahead.
off subject here.
Go
You
ahead.
need to hear this because this is hilarious.
You
This is
need
what
to
we-
hear this.
This is what we do in the black community, right? So we always we always look at light skinned men and we qualify them to
Be soft
softer
and
weaker. If you look at like
you get
LB Shore, Prince,
Drake out and
Drake,
shit.
these guys, right? So that's what the black community does. So if he's acting soft or anything like that,
you acting real Drake right
You're
now. You
acting
with your
light skin
khaki
right
ass.
now. You're acting light skin. We do that amongst each other. It's so funny.
It's
but
funny.
Back on
That's
to what
fucked
you-
up.
It's hilarious.
We do
But,
it amongst
uh,
each other. Like I
That's
mean,
like saying oh, you're acting like it's a if your skin is closer to my color, that dude's weak.
well, no, it's only because like the light skinned men.
The popular light skinned guys
The
were
popular.
They were softer. They were singers and
thing-
dancers.
The
and,
imagery,
like they appeared to be
is
softer.
different, right?
Right,
So
right.
the mean, tough, darker, big black guys. So those were the guys that you envisioned as being
Dark
guys
skin,
that-
good.
the guys that art loves.
Light skin, bad.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Dark skin,
That's
tough.
where I'm leading
Dark
it.
skin, tough. Light skin, not so tough.
That's
Okay.
that's what we'll go with that narrative. And it's just
I don't
funny
like it.
that we mentioned that you mentioned that because that's what popped into my head. But
Well-
I felt that that's something.
Well,
that you
what
should
I mean
probably
by
know.
what I mean by out, quote unquote, acting black.
Well, I know you were
is-
talking about something
Yeah, it's a
different, so-
completely it's a demeanor. It's more of a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hear somebody say you're acting black, it's usually not a compliment.
It's dumb too because I feel that Jamaican men and Haitian men, they're black. They don't act like us, or what they're trying to allude to.
Yeah.
They're talking about American,
But it's
African Americans.
But when you say it, it's more of just another word for degenerate behavior. You're not acting like a race. You're acting like
yeah, it's a behavior.
Yeah, you're behaving like a degenerate or an asshole or whatever you
want to.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to put that stipulation to what black people are supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's
where the stereotype is. You're portraying a stereotype.
yeah, it's ignorance. It's ignorant. But I was saying Double D in like our own, like in our community, we say that to each other, and I find it weird
I
because
say that to him all the time. He's always emotional.
Who, me?
Yeah,
Get the fuck
yeah,
out of
you
here.
genuine.
I'm super tough. Stop that.
You have a plastic bag on.
It's a vest.
Okay, if that's what you want to call it. Bet you
Anyway.
it has Glad on the tag.
Anyway, but Double D, you say you're not a fan of that.
I'm not. It's judging somebody. And I get that it's a joke. You guys aren't serious, but it's judging somebody by the color of their skin is the kind of thing that we should be moving away from.
Right. And it is it acceptable?
Not to mention that it, like, if you take that to the extreme, the light skin, you come to me as a white man,
Right.
and by
You're
that
a fucking marshmallow.
Well,
by
no,
that conclusion, I must be the weakest of them all simply because of the color of my skin.
No. So that's how I think you would perceive it. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
However, I think it's just it's a cultural thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think it's only amongst the black community. We wouldn't take a man.
Yeah,
who
you're
was,
not
who was
necessarily
white
in
and
it.
say, well, because you're even lighter, you're even weaker.
Right.
It's something just within our community because of the historical figures that have been known to have lighter. Because at the time, that was the marketing demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Lighter men singing R&B was something that was
popular.
popular.
Yeah.
You weren't going to find a lot of and so you have the whole Michael Jackson dispute. Was he really trying to identify as someone who was lighter than what he was naturally born as?
He got his face.
By
blown
the
off.
end, there wasn't anybody much lighter than he was.
I think
Not even me.
He succeeded. But but that was what we say Prince. We talk about Drake. We talk about Albie Shore. You know, we would never put John B in that category.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know
John
John B
B.
is.
the singer.
No idea.
John B's a white.
He actually
he's a
looks
white
like
Johnny B.
he
Good.
actually
He
looks
doesn't
like
look
John
like
B.
John B.
Yes, he does.
He
Like
doesn't look
John
like
B
John
has
B.
like this new hairstyle, and to be honest with you, you remind me of a John B. He was an R&B singer though.
Johnny B. Good.
He made a real. I'm promise you know one of his hit singles.
Really?
Whoa! Told you he looks like John B. You need a more modern picture because he has like the hairstyle kind of that you have.
When, is he from the 90s?
90s, yeah. He had a big song with
Tupac.
yeah.
Or are you still down?
Look. Yeah, I do look alike.
Double D. Oh, that's back when you were sexy.
That's
Double
sexy.
D.
That's sexy Double
That's
D
sexy
right there.
Double D.
John D.
I don't know about this, you guys.
You can't see it?
Right here, Double D. You kind of, yeah.
Kind of that one, but look at the one directly below it.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
not
younger
that
in
one.
that.
Yeah, not that one. I was saying more so like this one here, like his newer.
That doesn't even look like the same person.
It doesn't. But that's
what age does.
That
Yeah.
dude looks like a country singer.
he just
His name is John B.
so he was a famous R&B singer, but he in the 90s. But he just performed on like a reunion show that they had for all these 90s singers, and he had his hair similar to what yours. And I was like, so just looking at you, I was like, man, you kind of remind me of John B now. But we would never put him in that category. We took the light skinned African American man.
Oh, your hair goes like this every once in a while too.
Which one?
This one.
This is John.
I like
Double,
that.
this is John Double D.
Yeah, look. I don't know, man. Maybe it's the beard and the combination of
The way his nose
Double.
points too. So
But
Is he white?
Yeah, he's a white man. He was like really famous. He was really famous in the 90s, like really famous. He has a song called Angel. That was really.
I don't think that dude's white.
that's Shaggy. Shaggy has Angel.
You're my angel. Nothing's on it. I don't know if
That's not John B, is
Yes,
it?
that is. Google. Why did she not listen to me?
It's because you're light skinned.
Probably.
You should be darker, bitch.
But anyway,
My
that was
Google don't
what-
listen to emotional
in
people.
our community. It's not even just he and I. It's something that I hear a lot of African Americans like they do it to each other.
Oh, wow.
And I thought it was always funny because like they'd be like, dude, you're acting light skinned, and it's because light skinned men get so much shit. They get a lot of shit from the African American community as for being softer, weaker. I don't know where this stemmed from, but I just thought you should know that when he was talking about
Oh,
what he was
no,
talking
I got
about.
it.
Yeah, I just thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought the SJW subject was gonna go a lot worse than it actually did. We kind of doubt. I guess because we said it, that's all we talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
We're kind of SJW the fuck out.
Yeah.
This is a random topic. I think this is pretty funny here. My buddy just sent me this. It says that a man got plastic surgery and changed his name to date his ex-girlfriend after she abstains restraining order.
Yeah,
He looks completely different.
that
Oh
is
my God.
that is crazy.
Would you go to those lengths? That's what we're
Oh
talking
my
about.
god, that's psychotic. Holy shit.
That is definitely.
And then when they realize it's you, you get arrested.
Did he
That
change?
is-
Wait, he changed his name too.
Change his name.
is he a pianist? He's definitely certifiable.
Can you imagine his earlier attempts? Like he just put on like a fake nose.
Or with the mustache.
John, I know that's you.
He has a trench coat on.
I need
I don't.
something.
I don't.
Sitting there
know
with
who
a,
John
sitting
is.
there with a
something
fake
better.
cigarette, like yeah.
Who's John?
That's not me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Gets a perm. John, it's
Edible?
just you with the perm this time.
Hey, Double D, I'm bringing up the edible anus. Pause. Companies make chocolate molds of your anus, of your butthole.
Why?
All right, would you eat one of those?
No. What? Like I don't even like chocolate.
Is it my own anus?
Hold on, that's where he's.
No, that's not the reason why I don't buy it.
No, that's where.
Don't guess it.
I don't even eat chocolate.
I'm just saying.
So it's not
one,
the ass
no,
part; it's the
just
chocolate part that
one,
you
I
didn't
don't
get
eat
along
chocolate, but why would I eat
with. Ass chocolate.
And yeah, a chocolate asshole. Like why? What's the?
You're the one that said you don't eat chocolate, so it's just human ass that you would enjoy.
I don't enjoy it, but you know, it pleases the ladies.
It does.
So you get chocolate made of your own asshole or somebody else's asshole?
I don't know. It depends on if like.
That would be hilarious to pass out for Halloween candy.
Chocolate asshole.
Imagine that, like the kids that
Would you eat a chocolate asshole? And my wife is in the room.
Show her the picture.
Get on the mic. Get on. She tagged me in it.
Oh,
Get
really?
on. Get on the mic. Get on the mic. Would you eat if I got my asshole molded chocolate? Would you eat it?
Was it fresh or was it like?
Wait, what?
No, I mean like, was it just first made?
The chocolate?
Yeah, like it just came off your ass, or was it just like chocolate?
I don't think that's how they make it.
You know, that's what it looks like.
It looks like they kind of did some sort of like there may be some sort of like plastic or some sort of silicone maybe. Like
Yikes.
they probably I don't know form around your asshole and then I mean that's what it
Like
looks
a mold.
Yeah,
Chocolate
like
mold.
a mold, yeah.
And then they take that probably somewhere and fill it with chocolate.
Yeah, then it's just chocolate. But if it came right off your ass, yeah, I wouldn't eat it.
Like pouring the chocolate on the
Yeah,
asshole,
no,
waiting
I
till it hardens, and then peeling it off.
That's disgusting.
How uncomfortable would that be for
I
the
thought
person
that's what
who's
it was.
laying there allowing that to happen to them?
It depends on how flexible they are. Like if you can make yourself a pretzel, you can lay there all day. Right? If you can put your legs behind your head and just lay back with your mind on
You'd
your
be
money
like a
and your
turtle
money
on
on your
on
mind.
its shell.
Exactly.
Somebody
You're
just
sitting
walks
there.
by and like rocks you back and forth.
I think that is so funny when I see turtles on their shell. Like, and they're just,
I thought he was talking about contortionists for a minute. Turtles kicking on their shells, like they look so strange.
And then do you just keep walking?
Yeah, hell
would
yeah.
try to flip him.
I've walked past like 9 turtles
He's
on
an
their shells.
asshole. I would flip him over.
Like, you know what it is? Because the Ninja Turtles always win, except for the '90s comics when they actually where some of them died.
Man,
Like
that
they
was-
always won. So I wanted to see them lose once. So I just walked past every sea turtle that's on their shell.
Which I'm sure is a lot. That you come
On the
across.
beach, I come across like at least every vacation. I come across 2 turtles that's on their shells.
Would you eat a chocolate turtle asshole? Like take that dead turtle that you let die,
All right, so
get a mold made of its asshole.
Let's think
fill
about
with
it.
chocolate.
What if will you eat a chocolate turtle?
Like it's covered in chocolate, like a chocolate covered ant.
No, chocolate covered ants are gross.
Yeah, they're not. Wow, they're not
they are
bad.
disgusting. I didn't like them. Did you eat crickets?
I've had crickets. Yeah,
Did you like them?
yeah, they weren't bad.
Oh my gosh!
What does turtle vagina look like?
Let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here.
I'm sorry.
I have no
'Cause
idea.
I just Googled one and it looks like this turtle had a period.
Wait. All right, so
What the fuck is this?
let's go ahead and move to closers.
Sorry.
Before he engulfs himself in
Going
turtle
down a
vagina.
rabbit hole of turtle vagina, turtle vag.
Yeah, that's gross.
That's gross to you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're gonna eat ass chocolate.
Turtle box. I never said that I was
box.
going.
That's
box
good.
turtle box.
I never said that I was going to eat it.
Box turtle box.
This episode may be called Turtle Box. You know, we only think of one line to base the episode off of, and like
It's funny, though.
and people will listen to
It's
it.
propaganda.
And they'll be like, "Where did the hell did the turtle box came?" Oh, okay.
Like 5 minutes before
I
the
see
end.
why it's going. But yeah, let's go ahead and move to closers. I got shit anyway.
I'll go first. All right, so I don't know with the 7-year-old death in custody of at the U.S. Patrol Border or whatever. I don't know, I just butchered that, but is it if there are things like this that that continue to happen, if there's a continuum of these events, how serious do we take them? Because it looks like we are biased amongst, and I'm not saying we at the No Filters podcast. What I'm saying is we as a country have become, and this is all pointed from our leader.
That there's no S at the end of No Filter.
I have a lisp. Shut up.
No, you don't.
I know. I don't. I was hoping you just said, "Oh,
Nice
okay."
try, Arthur.
31
Can't fool
years.
me.
31 years, Art.
But what I'm saying to you is that our leader has basically created this narrative that, immigration is bad, right? If there are situations like this that continue to happen when people are struggling for their lives to move to a country that is better and has more opportunity and for actual real life, how serious do we take these situations? As far as Baby It's Cold Outside and all the other holiday initiatives and the children's shows and these characters like Frosty the Snowman, you guys are wasting your time. With this SJW whole thing that you guys are bullying. That's what this is. You guys are bullying to get your way. And in your eyes, you think that you're doing something that's significant, but you're only doing something significant to a specific group of people. Everyone else is on the outside looking at you like you're fucking crazy. I've grown up to Frosty the Snowman and all this stuff, and I've never put this much thought into how this can relate to a real world issue and rape or some sort of racism or, anti Semitic
Inflammatory.
or so. I mean, it's crazy, man, and it's really distracting. I feel, people are going to live, people are going to be, and I feel like you're casting judgment, and for those who cast judgment will be judged. So that's that. And then as far as what's that babe's name? The one with the qualification.
Alyssa Milano.
Oh, you're too hot to be
That babe.
Yeah, you're too hot to have that mindset. Like, she was going to be the next.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, so she was going to be the next avatar for my fantasy football. Because every week I change it to a different female in the name.
All right, Double D. It seems like Art's done.
That's it.
No, I'll go next because I got to take a shit. But I was watching The Faculty yesterday, and
Great movie, by the
It
way.
is a fantastic movie, and I forgot how good it was until I watched it again yesterday. And I mean, chick walking around ass naked throughout the end of the movie was amazing. But I Googled her, and she didn't. She aged like bread. But so this is what social justice warriors do. They basically take that parasite and put it in the ears of the people that are around, and it spreads more and more and more and more and more.
It's a great analogy. If you haven't seen the movie, definitely watch The Faculty. It came out in like the 90s or so, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's what people were doing. And I really did legitimately watch The Faculty. That's the only reason why I remember. But, and that's what's happening with these social justice warriors. They're becoming an army. They're becoming an army. And the odd people out are the free thinkers. Like you're not a free thinker if you're just agreeing with a group of people that claim that they're free thinkers. That's literally a contradiction of the purpose of being a free thinker. It's fucking stupid. And you guys are fucking idiots. Social justice warriors. If you had something to do with your life, then you wouldn't be focused on everybody else's. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that if you were busy, let me tell you something. Every time somebody tries to spread some rumors and bullshit to me, I'm like, what does that have to do with me? And the reason why I say, what does that have to do with me is, oh my gosh. The reason he's an asshole. The reason why this doesn't have anything to do with me is because I'm busy doing shit that has to do with me. So I don't have time to fill my brain up with a whole bunch of dumb shit that you want to complain about and get sensitive about and rally the troops about, because there's not really a lot to get sensitive about and rally the troops about if it's not malicious. Kevin Hart, that shit was ridiculous what y'all did to him. Like, there's a whole lot of people that's coming together. And this shit right here, this Baby It's Cold Outside and Rudolph and Frosty and all of that. Really? They're claymation cartoons. Like, seriously. Get the fuck over it. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say about that. This Border Patrol thing, I've already explained. I damn near spoke a whole episode about immigration. You know how I feel about that. Border Patrol, it needs to get better. There needs to be a line, and the line should be, think about it before you take somebody's life. If they're not endangering you, then why let them die? Other than that, I'm out. Double D, you're gonna have to close this out. I really do gotta take a shit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna fist bump you now.
Should I see myself out?
You're definitely gonna see yourself out.
All right.
I might be back 5 minutes, maybe 10.
Ain't nobody going there. 35, 45 minutes.
35, 45 minutes.
Yeah, so I think the death of the young girl at the border, just horrendous. I can't believe that it got that far. I don't know anything more about it than what we talked about here on the podcast, but the information I was given here on the podcast, from what it sounds like, it's a critical condition should be dealt with, and politics should not get involved whenever human life is involved, or risk to their life. I think that's human compassion that can be shared across nation lines. Because I mean, a person standing on the other side of a imaginary line is not all that different from you when it comes down to the big picture. When it comes to the SJWs, and Baby It's Cold Outside. Man, that's the one that really gets me, man. I agree with Remorseless on that. People should worry about yourself. Take care of your own life, and you won't have all the free time in the world to be dissecting the minutia of such things and making a big deal out of them. So that wraps it up for me. Art, you got anything else?
I have one recommendation.
Yeah.
So this goes back to this is to the world. I don't know if I'll just put it out there. Whatever. So sports fans, the world of boxing, HBO pay-per-view. I don't know if you've ever paid for a pay-per-view.
No.
Fight before, but they've gotten relatively expensive. But I think with the fallout between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Larry Merchant, Floyd ended up voiding. I think the contract was voided with HBO, and he ended up becoming a Showtime fighter. So HBO's lost a lot of business. They're losing even more now because Oscar De La Hoya has actually started a streaming service to watch boxing matches.
Oh, damn.
And what he did was he signed the biggest boxer in the world. He's a welterweight fighter by the name of Canelo Alvarez. That's who fought last night. And he also signed a couple more big boxers, Anthony Joshua. So everyone's migrating over here to this app it's called DAZN. If you're a sports fan, they have different things on there though. Cricket, croquet. There's soccer. What they're really trying to do is eradicate all the ESPNs, all the pay-per-views, all that stuff that people are spending a lot, like sports packages and things of that sort. They're trying to work out a deal with the NFL now, all for $9 a month.
I was gonna say, so they probably have to have like a contract, like you were saying, with the NFL or like the NBA, right?
It's a streaming service, so it's like Netflix or whatever, but you're able to watch unlimited amounts of sports, and especially with these boxing matches, like these primetime boxing matches.
Oh yeah, that'd be a real nice deal then.
Yeah, because we just paid $100 a couple weeks ago for the
for the one fight,
for the Wilder and Fury fight.
Yeah,
if I could pay $9 a month and see everything on this streaming service, then
Yeah.
So it's called DAZN. It's DAZN. They have a mobile app, but there's also if you have like a smart television, you can get the app on there as well. That's what I have. But yeah, I'd suggest that if you're a huge sports fan and it's something that you want to kind of look into, I think it's worth its while. So DAZN, that's what I recommend.
Good deal. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to us, and we hope you like what you hear. You may like it, you may hate it, you may agree, you may disagree. We may say some shit that you relate to, and some of it you may not be able to relate to it. But whatever you get from us, one thing we can promise you is it will always be no filter. Signing off. This is me, Double D.
Art.
And the other guy's not here, so we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Have a good one.
Peace.
You think you're big time? Oh, do you, huh? With your self-proclaimed hot topics, mediocre discussions, cookie-cutter charisma, non-personal personalities? That's just all cute, but this is no filters. We can give a fuck less. Don't panic. We'll only sort out what's what. And after you've realized you're at the bottom of the hill and you can't see us, you can reach me, Art, and the rest of the No Filters family at Facebook, EMP Network, Instagram, EMP Network 412, no spaces, and Twitter at Network_EMP. Man, fuck this. I'm out.
Art, where you going?